This step-by-step tutorial is just to show you how to use the new Moor's research resource called The Right to Write. The Right. Now, when you download this file, this folder here in the zip format, what you'll do is you'll double-click it to open, and it will present you with a folder, okay? And inside that folder, by double-clicking it to enter, you'll see that there's 3 documents. The first one says, read me first. So let's do that. Go ahead and open it up, and you'll read that. And basically what this is providing to you is letting you know that it is in 2 formats. One is for PC Window users, and the file is going to be saved in a Windows format. And the other is the exact same document, however, it's been saved in the format for Mac users called Pages. All right. So, as it says here, those individuals using Windows should open a file named for PC Windows users, and respectfully, Mac users should open the document entitled for Mac users. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and open the one that says for Mac users. Double-clicking that will open the file. Alright, so once you're presented with the file, the document itself, this document is exactly the same, even though it's in the format for Pages, which is for Mac users. The Windows users will see that it's exactly the same. The only difference will be these highlighted words here. I believe in Word is probably not pink, it's probably blue, if I remember correctly. And first of all, it's going to give you some information on how to use the document and the tools that are inside, such as the various devices. The tools are such as call-outs and book links, and identifying how to use the hyperlinks for the bookmarkers and the rest. But we're going to show you how to do that here. Now remember, this is a free document, and it's about 280 some pages. So there's a lot of research that's been put into this. It's been months and months and months of work to save you the time from needing to gather all of this information. And it's been compiled and put together in a very useful, handy manner that will allow for you to access information on various writs, what they are, in many cases the history of them, their terminology, and how they are used. And of course, throughout here also there's information on how these writs can be combined. And this is for you to be able to become more adept in your writing of writs and your combining of various writs in order to have the most effective writ possible. But this tool will certainly give you an edge up on that. So let's go to this first handy area here. All right, this is basically in a short index of general writs. And here it starts off with the history, and then it starts listing various types of writs that are here. And you can go through, and if you see a particular writ that you're interested in, you can just click upon it, and a bookmark will appear that will allow you to go to that area. Let's just go ahead and click where it says history so that you can see how this works. You click it, all right, and you'll be provided 2 options. One is to edit the link. Now, the reason that you have this is because it's not in documents usually that you'll get on the internet are in a already converted to an Adobe Acrobat version that doesn't allow for any modifications. This document will allow for you to make notes in it, modify it, whatever that you want to do to make it streamlined for your best use, all right, and to personalize it in any particular way that you might want to. So you can do also by editing the bookmarks, but I don't see any reason why you'd want to do that because the bookmarks are all correct and they will take you to the correct places. So the option you should choose here would be go to bookmark. So by clicking that, it's going to take you right there to where a brief history of writs. And as you can see on this page, these highlights here, when you hover over them, as you see, they'll provide you with greater information as to what the particular word or term might be saying. And where you see where it says show more, just click on that and it'll provide you with even more in-depth information on that one small phrase here, King's Bench. All right, it goes into the history of it, the information, and the rest. And that is so that if you're going and you're reading through here and you don't understand what a particular word means, instead of needing to stop and looking it up and the rest of it, we've taken the time. As I said, this has taken months and months and months to put together. And even though it's free, it's very powerful and very user-friendly. And that was the purpose of it. All right. So on each page also you'll notice, now as you see here, this popped up. There's also these blocks with further information here. This one has on habeas corpus and the writs of mandamus and prohibition and things, quam wronto writs. And they have within them the same type of helpful information that provides you with even deeper specifics as to the specificity of what the particular word or topic or subject or phrase is that you're hovering over. Okay, so these are also within these secondary boxes for you to use. Okay, so you can close these out just by clicking anywhere on the document. And on each page, at the bottom, if you should ever want to return to the top, all right, let's say that you're going through and you click one of those particular index words that takes you into the document and you want to go back up to the top, all you have to do is go to the bottom, all the pages are numbered, and click where it says click here to return to index. So you'll click it and you'll choose that second option again, go to bookmark, and that'll take you back up top. So now you're at the top of the document again. All right. So this is just basically placed here for you as a handy way to get to some of the most, I guess, common writs and things. But there's also, in this particular block, you can obtain a copy of the Circle 7 Quran. Okay, that would be an external bookmark. So we'll just click that to show you how that operates. Okay, and here it's going to provide you, this is the page where that would be, okay, of course, and then you click its external hyperlink and you would go there, right? And there you go. And that's a copy of the Circle 7 Holy Quran provided by the Moor directory, right? And you can download or print this out or save it on your PC or Mac, all right? So we'll just go ahead and minimize this, return to our document, all right? And since we want to, for the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to go back up to the top. And as you scroll down, you'll see here, there's another general quick reference, all right? And again, there are other various writs, habeas corpus, writ of mandamus, writ of procedural, the standing King Council. These are also listed here to give you quick access to those as well. And as you go through here, you'll start to understand where things are located, and you'll also understand what is located in the proximity of another thing. Okay, so just as an example, this is a sidebar, and that's why it's in yellow. So we can demonstrate what a sidebar is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click it, and we'll click here. And this is going to take you to, within the document, a sidebar. Now, all sidebars, when you're reading through a document, let's say you're reading through this document, right? This is on Indian law, and this has to do with not Indian as in American Indian, the misnomer, but on as in the country India, all right? And when you're reading through, if you see a symbol that looks like this, all right, you'll know that this is a sidebar. And if you don't want to read the sidebar, then you can go ahead and scroll through the sidebar. This is one that I certainly would recommend everyone read. And even in the sidebars, there's particular navigational notes. All right. But if you don't want to, you can just scroll through that. You'll find that there is another small indication of that icon here. And it says end of sidebar. So now you know that you are back into the meat of the document. All right. So let's go ahead and scroll down and take a look at some of the other resources in this document. And as you see, these highlighted pink marks again are all throughout here because it's going to give you a lot of information as you're reading. You'll come across something that will give you greater insight as to what that particular information is. Okay? All right. So this is giving you titles, statutes, chapters, and the list of how, let's see exactly where we are. This is relative to the codes, okay? And explains what codes are, the history of codes, and pretty much all the information that you would need to know about codes, U.S. code, all right? Scrolling down here, you also have here all of the chapters within the codes. So you don't need to have this all over the place. You have it in one handy, easy to use resource where you can go through and let's say that you're looking for chapter 157, okay, and dealing with this subject. You can just basically click on it and it'll take you right there. 165 United States Court of Federal Claims. Let's just look at that. So you click upon it, you click on this one, all right, and let's click this and just show you that it'll take you to an external reference for further information on that. Also, some of these will take you directly to the area that's on the US Gov site as well. All right. So there's also certain history and information on what I would consider as being some of the major culprits in history that all Moors should know about. And this one here is on the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and how that came about to be an element which changed a great deal in how law is handled in a manner which actually stepped outside of particular legalities but were codified into law. You'll find these various boxes here that are going to provide you even more detailed information. This is on common law systems, civil law systems, information on just about everything you can possibly think of in jurisprudence. And it gives you a breakdown here of, in its proper order, that material which would be of interest to anyone studying this particular information. This is regarding service, okay, and the manner in which service is correctly followed. There are procedures and manners in which, methodologies in which you have to do them in a particular order for your documents to be received appropriately, not kicked back, going through all of that. So a lot of times it will save you a great deal of headaches to read through and find out what the proper procedures are when you are filing your writs and the rest of it. Now, a writ basically is anything that is written, okay? But of course, we're talking about writs pertaining to that would be filed with a jurisdiction's so-called court or bench, or regarding a lawsuit or an appeal or a response or any of those types of things. That's the type of writs that we're talking about, right? Not grocery lists. Right? So this is more on service and servicing. Okay. This is on jurisdictions, very important. Just scrolling down to give you a little bit more of an idea of the breadth and depth of this material here in REM. All of these here, again, whenever you run across these highlights in pink, there's going to be further information for you to find out more about it. Okay. So let's go ahead and scroll on down. Modern constitutional doctrines. Statutory authorizations. Relationship to venues, very important. Okay, and you'll see here, this ends the chapter area on jurisdictions, all right, and goes back into a continuance of the procedures for service. Okay, so evidently that was an interjection which was required so that you would understand better before you go further back into the service. Okay, manner of service. Service by mail, and it breaks everything down for you. Okay. Common law systems in the so-called U.S. All right. Now here, even though this is a very common word, martial, we'll see that there's a highlight there because there's actually a great deal of information regarding this that is of importance for one to understand. All right. So even though it may be a word that you're used to or seems very common to you, go ahead and click them, and you'll often find that there's going to be material there that you were unaware of, possibly. All right. Civil law systems, international service, all right, important, dealing with things with the Hague and the rest, all right. Agents for acceptance of service. All right. So let's go ahead and scroll down. And this is also very important. Talks about deadlines, gives you the chapters and the rest of, everything has particular statutes of limitations and things of that sort. And you should also know, what type of writs are in effect, still in effect, which ones would be considered functional, active, as well as those that would be considered archaic and no longer in use. No need to be writing up a writ that's not going to be recognized. It's just going to go in the trash. All right. Okay, so here again it shows this is an end of an interjection of service. All right, which lets you know you're back into service. Pleadings and motions. All right. So going through this is going to really give you a deep reference guide. And again, this is free. There is no charge to this. And you can go to the moorsdirectory.com on the home page. It's right there. You don't have to be a member or anything. You don't have to be a registered user. You can access this. This was placed there handy for you to utilize without needing to do any type of fee requirements or anything. Just download it, just like the Moorish app, all right, which has just a plethora, of resources that can be downloaded to your cell phone that can be located on the Apple Store or at the Google Play Store. The Moorish app by the moorsdirectory.com is downloadable there. That's also free. It will remain free for you. Okay, just like this document is free. We've also recently put a free copy of the very popular book on Moor science and metaphysics called The Key. We've placed that inside of the Moor's Guide to a Practical, More Hassle-Free Existence. We've now placed that inside of that so that you will have a free copy of that the book called the key is now a free document within the Moor's Guide to a Practical, More Hassle-Free Existence. Okay, you can, of course, still purchase it separately, but why pay for it when you can get it for free within your copy of the Moor's Guide to a Practical, More Hassle-Free Existence? Okay, so going down. So this is just another free reference. And one of the main reasons that we decided to develop this was because there were people out selling documents that, for all intent and purpose, were things that one should be able to have access to. And we felt that that access should be provided to you in a very user-friendly, comprehensive manner, and not one that was just a lightweight a reference, but a reference tool for Moors that can be used for years and years and years to come. All right, this will remain a valuable research resource for you, and I would certainly recommend that you get yourself a copy of this free tool and keep it handy, because it will come in handy without any question. All right, this is a list of titles and respective subject matter. All right, and it goes through all of the titles here, and it identifies what they are, and of course there's links throughout these as well. All right, as I said, there's been a lot of preparation made for all of this. Okay, when you're going through, all of these rules here, they can become confusing if you don't have the easy access links to provide you with further information that will actually take you to areas that will explain further what these are. So having this resource is almost like having your own private tutor, all right, to walk you through. All right, this is a list of other writs, okay, writs of attachment, all right, writs of capus, and all of these are writs that you should at least be familiar with, because even though you may not be using this particular writ, you may open one and find that this is exactly an aspect or nature of it is something that you should possibly utilize in whatever it is that you are crafting. All right. Now, this is on our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And at the top of the page, matter of fact, I'll show you here. Let's just pop back up to the top. Okay. We've placed here underneath the Circle 7 Holy Quran, okay, a link for the Moor Science Temple of America, but we've also put in here, of course, so valuably, a link to information on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and that's where we were. So we'll just pop back to that area, and you see that we're here, okay? And again, there's hyperlinks within that. His early years of spiritual formation, okay, the foundation of the Moor Science Temple, and death and legacies, and you can click directly to them. I'd recommend going ahead and reading the whole thing. It's not that long, but it's certainly some good information that anyone wanting to know about our community should certainly be aware of this gentleman here, our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All right. So that's going to provide you information regarding the Prophet. All right. Now, I'm just going to pause here on this brief note. It says, please note that some of the information provided above on the subject of the Moor Science Temple, like most references on the subject, are not to be taken, in my opinion, as gospel and or as a definitive, indisputable truth in any manner. Like all and every subject in this treatment, it is important that the material contained herein and elsewhere be used only as a supplemental for your own personal research, not the end-all of your research on any particular subject or matter. Okay, so that just stands true. All right. Any type of research that you do, you should always supplement that with your own research. Fortunately, you will find that in this particular treatment, scrutiny has been very tough on this. We've made sure that the research is impeccable. But do, by all means, don't consider it the end all to your research. Just because there's a great deal of information here doesn't mean that there's not more out there. Also, information is, over the course of time, as we know, modified and changed. But it's also good to have the information before the modifications, and this will afford you that. Okay, and the reason I say that is just like Black Law's Dictionary 4th edition. All right, the reason that one is so important is because the ones that follow it have modifications that make them less valuable. All right. Writ of prevention, okay, alias writ, okay, and it goes on and on here. Judicial writs, okay, junior writs, okay, patent writs, and on and on. All right. So we're just quickly kind of scrolling through to show you the depth of this material. And also, as you'll note, there's hyperlinks all through here. And I'll show you. This is an example. Okay, you can click on this external hyperlink here. This is for the Moorish Nation Public Records. Okay, an extremely important site for our community. All right, let's click upon that and let's go to that. All right, here, Sister has placed a great deal of information that would be important for all Moors to be familiar with. And if you're looking at wanting to see the format of particular writs and the rest, you can download those here. All right, and it will provide you with the actual documents that were utilized. You can read through, and there's never any reason to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. All right, utilize these resources so that you will have access to. This is writ of mandamus, or of a era averment, excuse me, and when it was filed. All right, so go ahead and click on that, and just as another example, you'll see how it was formatted. Okay, where this was filed, read the nature of it, okay, and the manner in which it was appropriately addressed, sealed, and provided with the principles. Right. And read these writs, download them, copy them, put them in files. What I've done is each of the writs on this particular valuable, extremely, it's like jewels. All right, all of these writs I've gone through and printed on legal paper these documents, and I've placed them in binders. So I have those as my references, okay, that I utilize from time to time. This is invaluable information, people, and you need to get your hands on it. There are always mischievous things going on, and you need to keep your own records. Things on the internet tend to disappear, okay? So you need to make sure that you keep your own files. So should any type of catastrophic events occur, you have your own, okay? Like the saying says, God bless the child who's got their own. Well, when it comes to law and writs and things of that nature, believe me, that is couldn't be any more true. All right. So, all right, let's go back. So you'll see here that these valuable external hyperlinks are also within this document. You'll find links here to R.V. Bay publication, another major Moorish online institution. invaluable to our community. That is one that everyone should be aware of. Just like MoorsDirectory.com. You should go there, you should read it, you should take advantage of the information that Sister Roz Mariah May has placed on there, taken out her a valuable time to diligently make accessible to you, free, and visit RV Bay. And study, right? So we're just going to continue to scroll down here, show you more of what is in this document. And as I said, it's very meaty, okay? Also in here, what we've placed for you, I'll just try to scroll down faster here, try to get to it because there is so much information, all right, in here, is that you'll find that you're going to have a list of all of the, if you come across something that is in Latin within a writ or what have you, or you don't understand it, we've broken down for you all of that information. So you should never be without a resource that's going to give you a translation for those Latin terms and dictums. They can also be used and placed inside of your writs, all right, because these dictums stand as law because they have stood the test of time, all right, and when you use them, they are as pertinent. They will not change. Okay, they are considered as empirical truths. Okay, and factual that you can lean upon and not expect to vary or waver in their impact. All right, very relevant material. All right. So anyway, not to take up too much more of your time. Time is valuable. More valuable than fiat. All right, so back to the top. As I said, it's free. Go to the MoorsDirectory.com. Okay. And download yours today. This is nation building. Another free Moors resource tip from the MoorsDirectory.com. Islam.